Once again, taking notes in our Bible. This is going to be the book of 2 Kings. Okay, 2 Kings, also called the fourth book of the Kings, because you got 1st and 2nd Samuel, then 1st Kings and 2nd Kings. 25 chapters, 719 verses, 23,517 words, or around that. And I hope you'll write that down, because it took me forever to count all those words. Just kidding, I did not count that, but some poor guy out there counted all those words, so we ought to write that down in honor of him. And the author, tradition says Jeremiah, but you have all these other guys that's said to have wrote something. So they had some type of part in 1st and 2nd Kings writing that. Not exactly sure that you can say who wrote what, but there's the idea. Jesus is pictured as our King. He's King of Kings and Lord of Lords, according to 1 Timothy 6:15. All right, this book goes from 896 BC to 588 BC. And then now the breakdown. Breakdown number 1. 1 through 17, you got the 10 northern tribes, which is all of them except for Judah and Benjamin, go into captivity under Sennacherib, king of Assyria, and Elisha is the prophet. 18 through 25, in chapter 25, the 2 southern kingdoms, Judah and Benjamin, go into captivity under Nebuchadnezzar, and Isaiah and Jeremiah are the prophets. And that's a key, realizing that, all those prophets, like Isaiah and Jeremiah, and those guys prophesied during the reign of these kings. Now breakdown number 2, you got chapters 1 through 3. Elijah passes his ministry down to Elisha. Elijah calls down fire from heaven. He divides the Jordan. He's taken up in the chariot into heaven. Chapter 4, you got Elisha's ministry. You got the woman of Shunem. You see all of Elisha's miracles there, at least 5 miracles. Chapter 5, you got Naaman the leper who washes 7 times in Jordan. Chapter 6, you got Israel versus the king of Syria and the axe head swims, that story about the axe head. Then you get chapter 7, where you got the 4 lepers. And God causes the Syrians to hear noises, and it scares them away. And then in chapter 8, you got Joram marries Ahab's daughter. Big mistake. Chapter 9, Jezebel dies and dogs eat her flesh. Chapter 10, Jehu pretends to be a Baal worshiper. So it's like Halloween, dressing up, pretending to be something you probably shouldn't be. And then you got Jehoahaz succeeds Jehu. Chapter 11, Athaliah attempts to destroy line of David. Joash becomes king at 7 years old. Chapter 12, Jehoash slain, Amaziah succeeds him. Chapter 13, Jehoahaz's wicked reign. Chapter 14, Azariah succeeds Amaziah. Chapter 15, Azariah dies a leper. Chapter 16, you got Ahaz's wicked reign, and Hezekiah succeeds him. Chapter 17, you got Hoshea is last king over the 10 northern tribes. 721 BC, and the 10 northern tribes are carried away into captivity. Chapter 18, Hezekiah. You see this good king Hezekiah, and you see Sennacherib attack Judah. Chapter 19, angel of the Lord kills 185,000. Chapter 20, Hezekiah lengthens his life, gets 15 years added to his life. Chapter 21, wicked King Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah. If he hadn't got that time added to his life, Manasseh wouldn't have been born. And he reigns in Judah. Chapter 22, Josiah's good reign. Josiah's a good king. Chapter 23, more about Josiah. Chapter 24, you got Jehoiakim and Jehoiachin, and Jerusalem is carried captive. chapter 25, you got the end of the kingdom of heaven, because, you know, they're all taken away captive, and it goes over to the Gentiles. And Zedekiah is slain, and his sons are killed. And from this point on in chapter 25, you have the deportation to Babylon. And 2 Chronicles 36:6, Jehoiakim is carried to Babylon. 606 BC, this is where Daniel comes in, the book of Daniel. Number 2, in 2 Chronicles 36:10, Jehoiakim is carried to Babylon. In 2 Kings 25:7, Zedekiah is taken. So there's 2 Kings.